Okay, welcome everyone. I'm Mike Roberts from the barn at Wombat Flat at Neil's Flat in South Australia, centre of the known universe. I tell everyone that. I want to welcome our live stream audience, wherever they may be in Australia. We know we've got friends in Canada and the US that are watching, and we've also got a very dear friend who lives about 3 paddocks over in that direction when he's home, but he's stuck in Germany. He's a student at Oxford in the UK, and when COVID hit, he kind of escaped to Germany, and he hasn't been able to get home. He's one of those 40,000 people. Sam Deering, we're thinking of you tonight, and we wish you all the best, and we wish you were here. So we hope this makes you feel a little bit more like you're closer to home. Okay, everybody give a round of applause for Sam. Come on, yeah. All right. Stay safe. Enjoy the show, Sam. Now, I first saw this fella, JimmyBay, must be 3 years ago now, Jim, and I was walking through Rundle Mall, and he's busy doing what he does, and I just had to stop in my tracks, and I went, oh, I've seen a lot of young performers try to imitate old bluesmen, and to me, most of it it's not really believable. And I'm looking at this guy, and I'm thinking, he's the real deal. And it took us about another year until we could get him here, which was last year, and he kind of blew the audience away, so we had to have him back to open the show for a blues band. Would you please welcome JimmyBay?
Thanks very much. Thanks very much, Mike. It's good to be back. Back here. I'm JimmyBay. I'm going to play a few of my songs for you tonight, tell you a couple of stories. I travelled around Australia for a bunch of time, and at one stage I was living on a riverbank down in Lorne, and there was a fella down there. He'd been there for a few months, and he stayed there when I left, so I don't know how long he was there for after that, but he told me this story, and it was a bit of a tragic story about his brother and his brother's wife. And when I left the riverbank there, I couldn't stop thinking about it when I was driving my bus. And so I stopped on the border, somewhere up in New South Wales, in this little paddock, and wrote this song called Home, just to sort of pay tribute to that story. And from inside, the best I could, from inside and outside. It's called Home. Well, I met a ghost in the darkness at night, with scuffed brown boots and a jet black tie. He said, I mean well, rest assured. I've been walking these halls for 1,000 years, slamming doors and wiping my tears. It's the only place that feels like home. Well, I came home from work one day, and there was 3 cops standing at my gate. One says, son, you best have a seat. Your wife's been killed down on the M3. I've been walking these halls for 1,000 years, slamming doors and wiping my tears. It's the only place that feels like home. So I drove myself down the beach that night, and I waved my hands up at the sky, gritted my teeth, and then I threw myself on the rocks beneath. I've been walking these halls for 1,000 years, slamming doors and wiping my tears. It's the only place that feels like home. I've been walking these halls for 1,000 years, slamming doors and wiping my tears. It's the only place that feels like home. Thank you very much. A bit of sip of wine. You know when you've got a memory of something, or you attribute somebody to something, whether it's something you make or a situation, it could be a song you hear on the radio, or a painting that you painted, or a song that you've written, anything really, a smell. And the person that you've locked into that thing has changed, or your view on that person has changed. And they're sort of stuck in there like Han Solo in that ice. I had a weird experience last year, and I no longer wanted something attached to this person. And so I wrote this song. I haven't quite got a name for it yet, but it's about taking that back to make it your own again. Take my eyes, we can roll them together, put on a disguise, but don't take long, honey, don't take long, 'cause I'm buried in the ground, and you're buried in my song. Like a jet black night, yeah, bloodshot red, like a light through my window, like a bullet to my head. Oh, when I've had my fill of whiskey and wine, you can call it what you wanna, I'ma call it mine. Cut out my tongue, cut out my tongue, dead man in the desert, yeah, roadkill in the sun. Hear what I said, oh, hear what I said. Wind as cold as the reaper's touch, inside to lay my head. Like a jet black night, yeah, bloodshot red, like a light through my window, like a bullet to my head. Oh, when I've had my fill of whiskey and wine, you can call it what you wanna, I'ma call it mine. It's always up and down, left and right, Well, you can bite it if you let go of it, better hold on tight. Well, it'll fight you in the morning, and you can fight it at night. Well, you can fight it all afternoon if it makes you feel alright. Like a jet black night, yeah, bloodshot red. Like a light through my window, like a bullet to my head. Oh, when I've had my fill of whiskey and wine, you can't call it what you wanna, I'ma call it mine. Like a jet black night, yeah, bloodshot red. Like a light through my window, like a bullet to my head. Oh, when I've had my fill of whiskey and wine, you can call it what you wanna, I'ma call it mine. Thank you very much. Oh, festive season in South Australia. It's been a wild month. Woo! I'm going to do a song about the time that I took too much acid down at the Murray River. I was playing Russian roulette with a box of Cooper's Pale Ale with a few mates, and we chucked 3 tabs of acid into one of them, and then mixed it around into the esky, and then played skulls until all the beers were gone, and just to see who would get it, and it ended up being me. I quickly regretted it. And it's also mixed with another time from up in central Queensland coast, a similar situation. It went a little bit differently. It's called the Acid Blues. It's my only waltz that I've written. Well, I went down the river to have some tea. Fell down a hole after 3 tabs of LSD. And oh, Jimmy, what have you done? Well, you took 3 tabs when you should have taken 1. I'm high by the river just to pass the time, and the rolling river rolls on. Well, oh dear me, I floated out to sea. All them pretty fishes, they were talking to me. They said, oh Jimmy, what have you done? Well, you took 3 tabs when you should have taken 1. I'm high by the river just to pass the time, and the rolling river rolls on. Well, she took my money, she headed for the hills. Couldn't buy myself no food, couldn't pay my bills. Woke me in the morning, she punched me in the eye. Cut me up so bad, man, that I almost died. I said, oh Jimmy, what have you done? Well, you took 3 tabs when you should have taken 1. I'm high by the river just to pass the time, and the rolling river rolls on. I said, oh Jimmy, what have you done? Well, you took 3 tabs when you should have taken 1. I'm high by the river just to pass the time, and the rolling river rolls on. Thank you very much. I ran out of money on the way back down from Brisbane one time, and I had $10 in my pocket and a bit of fuel in my fuel tank. I was kind of heading towards Bathurst, a different way that I'd normally take. And I was trying to figure out in my head, I'm driving along trying to figure out how I'm going to make some money, and there's a sign on the side of the road, big billboard, that says Gold in the Hills with an arrow on it, and this happy looking gold mining fella. So I was like, I'll just go find some gold, no worries. So I've never gold panned before in my life. But so I went to the local hardware shop and bought a $10 gold pan, a little tiny little plastic one, and walked around town asking random people where all the gold is. And there was a fella sitting out the front of a takeaway shop and a big beard, and he looked like he'd been there for a long time. So I hit him up and he said to go to this place called Safala. And he started explaining, he said, go to the pub, go down behind the pub, there's a creek. And he said, follow the creek around, there's a little bit of a bridge, and there's a bend in this river in the creek. And on the corner of that creek, there's a tree. It's a big tree that all the waters wash the sand away from the roots. And he said, go there, and he drew a little mud map on the back of his receipt for me. And he said, go down there and dig underneath this tree and you'll find some gold. So I ventured off down there on this fella's word and found a little bend on the creek in the tree, started digging underneath, and sure enough, first 2 gold pans ever, I got about $2 worth of gold. So I had these big dreams, I got the gold fever. I was going to come back to Adelaide covered in gold chains and buy myself a 356 Porsche. But I dug there for 6 days and didn't find any more gold. And I moved about 3 tonne of dirt with a little folding trenching shovel. So, but I did get time to write a few songs, and this is one of them. Sitting on the bank, and it's called Here It Comes. Well, I was camped out on the ocean shore, lit by flicker and flame, with a heart full of desire, been stifled by the pain. And I sung a song of reverence on a string spun from gold, and all the lessons learned and stories gone untold. Where lightning hit the bluff and the trees swung side to side, and the wind came from the north and it took with it my pride. And here it comes, boy, here it comes, face lit up by the moonlight as we chase after the sun. Well, I was camped out on the ocean shore, lit by flicker and flame, with a heart full of desire, but stifled by the pain. And I sung a song of reverence on a string spun from gold, and all the lessons learned and stories gone untold. And here it comes, boy, here it comes, face lit up by the moonlight as we chase after the sun. Thank you very much. The other half of that story is I left Brisbane after having a bit of a break-up. And, when we broke up, she stole my doona. And it was winter time. It was the middle of winter when I was doing that gold pan. It like 4 degrees in the morning, minus at night. And yeah, so I sort of had to laugh to myself while I was driving around because I had $10. I couldn't get another doona, so I'm freezing my ass off down there, gold pan and getting wet and everything. But the only thing I could do to sort of cheer myself up was write a bit of a comical song about the situation, so I could sit there and imagine that I was another character in another book. And this is the song that came out of it. It's a bit of a story about my doonaless travels back down to Adelaide. Well, I fell in love in Brisbane with a girl with a crooked smile. Said, hey babe, you look nice, might stay here for a while. And I love to love you, baby, but you took my doona. Yeah, you took my doona. So I travelled down to Bathurst, found gold down in the creek. It was so cold on the bank, about 2 bloody degrees. And I love to love you, baby, but you took my doona. Yeah, you took my doona. Yeah, you took my doona. I kept travelling southwest, down through little towns. Can't remember the name of the place, but I was chasing goose down. And I love to love you, baby, but you took my doona. Yeah, you took my doona. I kept looking through op shops, underneath old jeans, sweaters with big holes and other things. And underneath it all, I found one and it cost me $4. Yeah, you took my doona, but I got another one. Yeah, you took my doona. Thanks very much. It's easy to laugh at now, but it was bloody cold. I got lost on the way to Cairns about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. So going up there to play a festival. And in the Tablelands, and it was at night time, and I got to Broken Hill, and I thought I'd try and take a shortcut up through central Queensland, through the dog fence, and ended up being the road to Indominka in a 2003 Commodore station wagon with bald tyres. So I had to build little rock bridges over these dry creek beds so I could get through and that sort of stuff. But when I was driving up there, I sat down under a tree and wrote this song. It's called Dirt Roads, ironically. Well, come with me, darling, come run away, where there's so many dirt roads that you could take. And I can hear them coming through that old rusty gate, picking dust up along the way. And we could sail across the ocean on a boat made of regret, Find a lonely beach just drifting with the tide. And I know we've got to get there, but I don't know how to swim. And the birds, they start to circle in the sky. Well, come with me, darling, come run away, where there's so many dirt roads we could take. And I can hear them coming through that old rusty gate, picking dust up along the way. Yeah, we could sail across the ocean on a boat made of regret, find a lonely beach just drifting with the tide. And I know we've got to get there, but I don't know how to swim. And the birds, they start to circle in the sky. Yeah, we could sail across the ocean on a boat made of regret, find a lonely beach just drifting with the tide. And I know we've got to get there, but I don't know how to swim. And the birds, they start to circle in the sky. Thank you so much. I was over in KI last year when the fires blew up, and it was pretty full on over there. It wasn't very full on over there, but I did notice how everybody was pulling together and helping each other out. It was friends and strangers, partners, and everybody was just getting together and taking weight off each other's shoulders. So I ended up writing this song called Take Some Weight. And yeah. Well, how much do you want it? How much do you want it, babe? There's been so many reasons to stay here, there's so many reasons to go away. And I've got bones in my cupboard, ghosts laying under my bed. Go and lay my head in the gutter, to be a dog or better off dead. Let me take some weight. I know you feel heavy, but let me take some weight. I know you feel heavy, and I'm just sitting in a hallway, killing my time with a black dog sitting in the doorway. Don't know his name, but he's a friend of mine. She said, I know how you feel, babe. I could tell the way you drag your feet, and it floods out of your eyes and out into the street. Let me take some weight. I know you feel heavy, but let me take some weight. I know you feel heavy. How much do you want it? How much do you want it, babe? There's been so many reasons to stay here, there's so many reasons to go away. And I've got bones in my cupboard, ghosts laying under my bed. Go and lay my head in the gutter, to be a dog or better off dead. Let me take some weight. Oh, I know you feel heavy. Well, let me take some weight. I know you feel heavy. Well, let me take some weight. I know you feel heavy. Well, let me take some weight. I know you feel heavy. Thank you very much. I might do a clap along song if you're okay with that. You got rhythm? I wrote this song called Devil when I was working up in the mines, and I used to sing it about 3 o'clock in the morning. I only started playing music about 5 or 6 years ago, but before that I used to just tell stories and sing a few songs over the radio to the lads down there at 3 o'clock in the morning when everybody was in that weird zone. And this was their favourite. It's not really about the devil. I'm not really that way inclined. It's more just about things you don't like to think about when you're in a dark place. And how I got rid of them by strangling them with a guitar string and throwing them down a hole in the forest. Everybody could just clap like that. Well, I said, oh, no, no. He said, come on, just give in. Well, devil came down just for me, but I'm gonna ruin his plan. Well, devil came down the river. He said, come on, just give in. Well, there ain't no way I'm going near that border. Drag me down so I can't swim. I said, oh, no, no. He said, come on, just give in. Well, the devil came down just for me, but I'm gonna ruin his plan. Well, he sailed across the ocean just to come and shake my hand. Well, there ain't no way I'm going near that boat. I'm staying right here on dry land. I said, oh, no, no. He said, come on, just give in. Well, the devil came down just for me, but I'm gonna ruin his plan. Well, he dragged me up the country. He said, I'm gonna clip your wings. So I wrapped the guitar string around his neck. He said, now you're the birdie you sing. I said, oh, no, no. He said, come on, just give in. Well, the devil came down just for me, but I'm gonna ruin his plan. Well, I dragged that big old devil up under the pines. Well, I dropped him down a big dark hole with the rock on his head just to clear my mind. Said, oh, no, no. He said, come on, just give in. I see the devil came down just for me, but I went ruined his plan. Thank you. That was awesome, thanks. He's got good rhythm. Sometimes that goes horribly pear-shaped. This is also a song about mining. True story. Been a mate of mine. Surrounded by rock, sprayed in concrete. Open up the crib bag, down at the 420. Mud-covered helmet, gumboot strapped to his feet. He said, I'm pissing off on the weekend to my shack down on the beach. He said, man, I'm so tired, I can hardly sleep. Yeah, I'm 2 years off retiring, working hard for BHP. Evacuation sounded as we were heading out the gate. I could tell it wasn't a false alarm by the look on the boss's face. Well, he called us down the wet mess. 2 days on, some prick with a laser pointer talking about jobs and carrying on. And I could hear, man, I'm so tired, I can hardly sleep. Yeah, I'm 2 years off retiring, working hard for BHP. Man, I'm so tired, I can hardly sleep. It's been 30 years down this hole, and I miss my family. He said, man, I'm so tired, I can hardly sleep. Yeah, I'm 2 years off retiring, working hard for BHP. Man, I'm so tired, I can hardly sleep. It's been 30 years down this hole, and I miss my family. Surrounded by rock, sprayed in concrete. Open up the crib bag, down at the 420. Thanks very much. Alrighty, this is going to be my last song. Thanks for being awesome, and the crowd. Yeah. That's the sad story I told earlier about living on the riverbank, that I heard that sad story. He also ended up being a part of this story, which was when I was driving off from that riverbank. I was heading to Melbourne to catch up with some mates, and he ran up to the door and he knocked on my door as I was driving off and stuck his hand in, and I thought he was going to give me something back that I left at camp, because I do that a fair bit. But it was a big handful of magic mushrooms, which I was pretty happy about because it was summertime, there's none around. So I thanked him and drove off towards Melbourne. And I found this op shop on the way near Geelong, and I was rifling through some paperwork on there and found this map of North Geelong. If you've ever been up North Geelong, there's lots of farmland up there. And so I grabbed this map and I headed north, out north of Geelong and over this bridge and out into the paddocks, and unbeknownst to me, between 1975 and the map was made. And when I got it, there was lots of fences also built around North Geelong. So I got pretty lost and got cornered in a few paddocks and couldn't find this creek, so I started drinking a box of red wine and had a handful of mushrooms, and at some stage passed out. And I woke up in the morning and I was looking up through these shrubs, and the stars were out and the sun was sort of just popping up, and I'm flat on my back, and stood up and had a look around, and there was artichokes as far as I could see. I was woken up in an artichoke paddock. So I tied the sleeves up on my jumper and turned it into an artichoke sack, and took a bunch of artichokes in Melbourne for my mates, and wrote this song called On My Way. And it's just to remind myself that no matter what happens, just keep on moving forward, you still just keep on going, and it's okay to wake up in an artichoke paddock every now and then. Thanks very much. Well, I was walking through the desert, gun in my hand. I've been walking for days. I got a frog in my throat, I think he's here to stay, but I'm on my way. Well, I'm on my way. Well, I'm on my way. Well, I was walking through the jungle with a snake around my neck, 3 gold tops and a bottle of gin, and I whispered no regrets. Well, he didn't bite me, he just swung around to speak. He said, "You've been in for a while, boy," and then licked me on my cheek. Well, I'm on my way. Well, I'm on my way. Well, I was crawling through the city, barefoot and broke, filthy streets and strangers, only one of them spoke. I met a man sitting with the blues. He said, "Roll me a cigarette and I'll give you my shoes." Well, I'm on my way. Well, I'm on my way. Thank you so much.
Put your hands together again for JimmyBay.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Awesome.
Jimmy, thank you.